The Netherlands might be a small country, but their navy is absolutely formidable, showcasing deadly frigates, stealthy submarines, and many other high-tech powerhouses. But with so many specialized vessels, which ones are the true game changers? In this video, we'll find out as we explore the top 10 most powerful warships in the Royal Netherlands Navy. We are kicking this off with the LCVP Mk.V. Now, I know what you are thinking. You are looking at this and thinking it is just a small boat, but size is not everything in warfare. And frankly, you cannot win a war if you cannot get your boots on the ground. This vessel is the absolute workhorse of the Dutch Marine Corps. It is designed specifically to operate from the larger amphibious transport ships that we are going to talk about later in this video, acting like a shuttle service for the guys with the guns. What makes the Mk.V so special is not just that it floats, but how it moves. We are talking about a vessel powered by water jets rather than traditional propellers. Why does that matter? Well, imagine trying to land on a shallow beach with a giant metal spinner hanging off the back of your boat. You are going to get stuck or you are going to break it. The water jets allow this craft to operate in extremely shallow waters, practically sliding right up onto the sand to drop off Marines. It can hit speeds of over 45 kilometers per hour, which feels a lot faster when you are bouncing over waves in an open boat. It is built to carry roughly 24 fully equipped Marines or a light vehicle, essentially acting as the last-mile delivery system for Dutch power projection. It is rugged, it is fast, and without it, the massive billion-dollar ships offshore are just floating hotels. It is the tactical edge that allows the Netherlands to project force anywhere from a sandy beach in the Caribbean to a rocky coast in Norway. It is the perfect example of how the Dutch prioritize flexibility and speed over just raw, bulky size. It is a small package, but it delivers a very serious punch when full of Dutch Marines. Moving on from the fast movers, we need to talk about the ships that do the dirty work that nobody else wants to do, and that is the Alkmaar class. If you are a fan of naval warfare, you know that sea mines are basically the hidden terrors of the ocean. They are cheap, they are deadly, and they can shut down an entire shipping lane for weeks. That is where the Alkmaar comes in. This is a mine hunter, and it is a piece of engineering genius for one very specific reason. The hull is not made of steel. If you are hunting magnetic mines that explode when they sense a large metal object passing overhead, driving a steel ship right up to them is a really bad idea. Instead, the Dutch built these hulls out of glass-reinforced plastic. That is right, it is basically the same stuff your fiberglass fishing boat's made of, but on a massive military scale. This makes the ship magnetically invisible to those underwater traps, allowing it to creep up on mines without blowing itself into the sky. The Alkmaar class was actually a joint project between the Netherlands, Belgium, and France, often called the tripartite class, which shows just how integrated European defense really is. These ships are equipped with high-definition sonar systems that can spot a suspicious object on the seafloor from hundreds of meters away. Once they find something, they do not just guess. They send down remote-controlled underwater vehicles, essentially little robot submarines, to inspect the object and, if necessary, place an explosive charge to detonate it safely. It is a high-stakes game of cat and mouse where one wrong move means disaster. These ships have seen action all over the world, clearing explosive remnants from wars in the Persian Gulf and keeping NATO waters safe. It is not the most glamorous job. You do not get the big movie moments like the destroyers do, but without the Alkmaar class clearing the path, the rest of the fleet would be paralyzed. If you appreciate the unsung heroes who keep the sea lanes open for your Amazon packages to arrive, go ahead and hit that like button right now. It really helps the algorithm show this to more naval enthusiasts like you. Now let's shift gears to something a bit more tropical. The Dutch Kingdom is not just in Europe. It includes islands in the Caribbean, like Aruba, Curacao, and St. Martin. Protecting those waters requires a very specific type of ship, and that is the Pelikaan class. This is a logistic support vessel, but do not let the boring name fool you. In the Caribbean, this ship is basically the superhero of the region. It is designed specifically to support amphibious operations and provide aid during hurricane season. If a massive storm hits an island and knocks out the power in ports, the Pelikaan is usually the first responder on the scene. It has a shallow draft, meaning the bottom of the ship does not go very deep underwater, which is perfect for navigating the tricky reefs and shallow harbors of the West Indies. The Pelikaan is not designed for heavy ship-to-ship combat with missiles and big guns. Its main weapon is its utility. It features a massive crane that can lift heavy containers, vehicles, or relief supplies directly from its deck onto a pier or even onto smaller boats. It can carry fresh water, fuel, and enough food to keep a small population going during a crisis, but it is also used for counter-drug operations. The Caribbean is a major transit route for narcotics heading to Europe and the US, and the Pelikaan acts as a mothership for fast interceptor boats and a base for Marines who board suspicious vessels. It is the ultimate multi-tool. It is reliable, tough, and perfectly adapted to its environment. It shows that the Royal Netherlands Navy understands that power is not always about blowing things up. Sometimes, power is about presence and the ability to keep your territory stable when Mother Nature decides to throw a tantrum. It is a unique ship for a unique part of the world, and it proves the Dutch are thinking globally, not just locally. Okay, we have talked about the support and the small craft, but now it is time to bring out the heavyweights. Enter the Rotterdam class. This is a landing platform dock, or LPD, and when this ship shows up, everyone knows the Dutch have arrived in force. The Rotterdam was a game changer when it was commissioned. It was a joint design with Spain, and it is huge. We are talking about a ship that is over 160 meters long. The primary purpose of this beast is to transport a battalion of Marines, their vehicles, and all their supplies, and then get them onto a hostile shore. But the coolest feature is right in the name, dock. The back of the ship actually floods with water to open up a massive internal pool. This allows landing craft, like the Mk.V we talked about earlier, to drive right into the belly of the ship, load up with tanks or troops, and drive out, all while protected from the open sea. But that is not all. The Rotterdam class has a massive flight deck on the back that can support multiple helicopters operating simultaneously. It is basically a floating airport and a floating garage combined. Inside, it has a fully equipped hospital with operating theaters, intensive care units, and wards. This makes it incredibly valuable for humanitarian missions as well as war. Imagine a floating city that can park off the coast of a war zone or a disaster area and coordinate everything. It has advanced communication suites to command entire task forces. It is armed with goalkeeper close-in weapon systems to shoot down incoming missiles, but its real power is its capacity. It can sustain itself and its crew for weeks without needing to resupply. It is the backbone of Dutch amphibious capabilities. Speaking of capabilities, if you are enjoying this deep dive into naval tech, make sure you subscribe to the channel for new videos every single day. We are building the ultimate community of military fans here. We are getting into some serious heavy metal now. Next up is the Karel Doorman class JSS. Now pay attention here because there is another ship named Karel Doorman we will talk about later. But this one is the JSS, or Joint Support Ship. And honestly, this might be the most versatile ship in the entire Dutch fleet. It is colossal. With a length of nearly 205 meters, it is one of the largest ships the Netherlands has ever operated. The concept here is sustainability. You can have the best destroyers in the world, but if they run out of fuel or ammo in the middle of the ocean, they are just floating targets. The Karel Doorman JSS is there to make sure that never happens. It acts as a replenishment ship, meaning it has massive tanks of diesel, aviation fuel, and fresh water, plus warehouses full of food and ammunition. It has these huge rigs on the sides that allow it to transfer fuel and heavy pallets of supplies to other ships while they are both moving at full speed next to each other in the middle of the ocean. That is a maneuver that requires insane precision, by the way. But the Dutch didn't just build a tanker. They slapped a massive flight deck on the back with 2 landing spots for heavy helicopters like the Chinook. It also has that roll-on roll-off capability for vehicles and a steel beach for amphibious operations. It is a hybrid monster, part tanker, part cargo ship, part amphibious assault ship. It even has extensive medical facilities, effectively serving as a floating level 2 hospital. This ship allows the Dutch Navy to operate globally for months at a time. It is the glue that holds international task forces together. Without a ship like this, you are tethered to the nearest friendly port. With it, the entire ocean is your base. So you have the massive joint support ship, but the Dutch realized they needed something to run alongside it. A specialized partner to handle the pure supply runs during high-intensity combat. That is where the Den Helder class comes in. This is the newest kid on the block, a combat support ship designed specifically to work in tandem with the JSS. While the Karel Doorman JSS does a bit of everything, including amphibious ops, the Den Helder is laser-focused on fuel and ammunition. It is built to be efficient, sleek, and highly automated. The design is based on the Karel Doorman, but optimized. It is slightly smaller, around 180 meters, but it carries a massive amount of fuel and dry goods. The logic here is fascinating. By having the Den Helder take over the replenishment duties, it frees up the Karel Doorman JSS to focus more on amphibious operations and heavy lift transport. It is a force multiplier. The Den Helder is equipped with the latest sensors and self-defense systems because, let's face it, a ship full of fuel is a high-value target for any enemy submarine or missile. The engineering on this ship focuses on reducing the crew size through automation, which is a big trend in modern navies. It uses smart systems to manage cargo and monitor the ship's health. It is not just a floating gas station. It is a smart logistic node in the NATO network. It ensures that the frigates and destroyers can keep their radars on and their engines running without ever looking back at the coast. It is proof that the Netherlands is committed to being a blue water navy, a force that can operate far from home waters effectively. Now let's look at something that looks like it came straight out of a science fiction movie, the Holland class. These are offshore patrol vessels, or OPVS, but they do not look like any other patrol ship on Earth. The first thing you notice is the mast. It is a solid, pyramid-like structure called the I-mast 400. Usually, ships have a metal stick with spinning radars and antennas bolted all over it. The Holland class puts all of that, radar, communications, cameras, inside this sleek, enclosed housing. This protects the sensitive equipment from sea salt and weather, and it reduces the ship's radar signature, making it harder to detect. It is brilliant Dutch engineering. These ships are designed for low-intensity warfare. Think piracy in the Gulf of Aden, drug running in the Caribbean, or Coast Guard duties in the North Sea. Because of this, they do not carry heavy missiles, but they are armed with a 76mm Otto Melara cannon that can fire incredibly fast, along with lighter machine guns. But their secret weapon is their speed and agility. They carry 2 fast raiding interception craft that can be launched from the stern ramp in seconds. The bridge of the ship is panoramic, giving the crew amazing visibility, and the ship itself is highly automated, requiring a surprisingly small crew of just 50 people for a vessel that is 108 meters long. It is also designed to be comfortable. I know that sounds weird for a warship, but better crew comfort means less fatigue and better performance on long patrols. The Holland class proves you do not need the biggest missiles to dominate the seas. You need the best eyes and ears, and that I-mast gives them exactly that. We are getting to the sharp end of the stick now. Let's talk about the other Karel Doorman class, specifically the Karel Doorman class frigates, also known as the M-class or multi-purpose frigates. These ships are the veterans of the fleet. Originally, the Dutch built 8 of these bad boys during the Cold War era to hunt Soviet submarines in the Atlantic. They were so good that when the Dutch downsized, they sold the extras to Belgium, Portugal, and Chile, where they are still top-tier assets. Today, the Royal Netherlands Navy operates 2 upgraded versions, the Van Amstel and the Van Spijk. These ships are submarine hunters, plain and simple. They are equipped with a towed array sonar, which is basically a long tail of listening devices they drag behind the ship. This allows them to hear submarines hiding in the deep thermal layers of the ocean where hull-mounted sonar cannot reach. They carry torpedoes to ruin a submarine captain's day and harpoon missiles to take out enemy surface ships. Despite their age, they have been constantly upgraded. They have modern radars, new combat management systems, and a helicopter deck that can host the NH-90 helicopter, which extends their submarine hunting range by hundreds of kilometers. These ships are tough, reliable, and have proven themselves in decades of NATO exercises. They are the old guard, the seasoned warriors that know every trick in the book. There is something cool about a ship that has stood the test of time and is still lethal today, do not you think? If you love these classic war machines, drop a comment below and tell me which classic ship is your favorite. Now we have reached the crown jewels of the surface fleet, the Zeven Provinciën class. These are air defense and command frigates, and they are absolute monsters. If the M class is the shield against submarines, the Zeven Provinciën is the shield against the sky. These ships are built around one of the most powerful radar systems in existence, the Thales Smart L. This radar is so powerful, it can track ballistic missiles in outer space. I am not joking. During NATO exercises, these Dutch ships effectively act as the eyes for the entire fleet, spotting missiles launching from thousands of kilometers away and relaying that data to US destroyers to take the shot. They are armed to the teeth. They have a vertical launch system with 40 cells packed with ESSM and SM-2 missiles, capable of blasting aircraft and anti-ship missiles out of the sky before they even get close. They also pack a massive 127mm main gun, Harpoon anti-ship missiles, and goalkeeper systems for close-in defense. But it is not just about weapons, it is about command. These ships have massive operations rooms designed to control entire task groups. An admiral can sit on this ship and run a war. They are highly stealthy for their size, with angled hulls to deflect radar waves. The Zeven Provinciën class is widely considered one of the best frigates in the world, period. When a Dutch commander walks into a NATO briefing, he gets respect because everyone knows what this ship can do. It is the ultimate protector, creating a bubble of safety around the fleet that nothing can penetrate. Finally, we have arrived at number 1, the most feared asset in the Royal Netherlands Navy, the Walrus-class submarines. You might be wondering, why is an old diesel-electric sub at number 1? Let me tell you a story. In a naval exercise some years ago, a Dutch Walrus-class submarine managed to penetrate the defensive screen of a U.S. Navy carrier strike group, the most protected formation on Earth, and successfully sank the aircraft carrier, USS Theodore Roosevelt, along with several of her escorts. They snapped a photo of the carrier through the periscope and slipped away undetected. That is why they are number 1. These subs are legendary. Unlike nuclear subs, which are huge and noisy due to cooling pumps, the Walrus class runs on batteries when submerged. This makes them essentially black holes in the water. They are silent. They are designed for the deep waters of the Atlantic, but are uniquely capable in shallow coastal waters where nuclear subs dare not go. They have a unique X-shaped tail rudder that makes them incredibly maneuverable. They carry heavyweight torpedoes that can break a destroyer's back in one hit. They are also used for special forces insertion and intelligence gathering, sitting quietly off an enemy coast listening to everything. While they are due to be replaced soon, right now, the Walrus class remains the most lethal, undetectable threat the Dutch possess. It is the invisible knife in the water. And there you have it, folks. These were the 10 best warships in the Royal Netherlands Navy. Which of these machines really impressed you? Let us know in the comment below. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see much more rankings like these.